Okay, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, however many subscribers there are, um, but it could be more. But I don't care if there's only one. That's all that really matters. Uh, I mean, if that doesn't matter as long as the word of God gets out. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters. I know some people have these other intents and these other thoughts in mind. Excuse me, just clearing my throat a little bit. So I know I'm getting ready to do some good talking, Lord willing. Um, I'm in my outside. I'm on my outside office, which of course is just the front porch. Um, and so I may have a few distractions. There's a lot of scenery around here. I'm down in Eden, North Carolina. It's very warm outside. Now I only have the jacket on, not because I'm cold, but just to keep the mosquitoes off. Ooh, that's one thing that I don't like is mosquito bites. Mosquito bites and I we do not get along. I'm quite sure that was probably that way with a lot of people. But anyways, today we're gonna jump into uh, two chapters. We're gonna start off with chapter 7 of Proverbs, and then immediately after closing that document or minimizing this document, then I'm gonna go into the next document, and they're both short. This one, both together, should be about 45 minutes. Um, Depending on if I have any sidebars. Now, according to what I've seen in the documents, I only have one little sidebar or one little um, comparison, so to speak, to make about fair speeches or flattering words. We see that phraseology in the New Testament. So I'll just let the document do the talking for itself. All right. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be pleasing in your sight, oh God. You are the rock and you are the redeemer. Let it be acceptable in thy sight, oh Lord, my strength, rock, and my redeemer. Salvation, deliverance. Of course, that's Psalm chapter 19, verse 14. I don't say it out of any nature of being perfunctory. I say that in actual sincerity because I do mean that. I really do mean that. I heard a few people say that from time to time, but you know, it's when I said it the first time, it was of sincerity as a prayer. I pray that what I say is pleasing to God. And if it causes you some sense of grief but get you out of your sin, then so be it. So be it. So I'm not here to please you. I'm not even here to please myself. And for the record, this is for me as well. This is for me. I need God's word just as much as you do. All right, now before I start getting too hot, let me get a sip of this good cold ice water. Lord willing, I'll do that a few times. Let's jump right on in. As this one guy I know, his name is Walter Jones. He's a musician slash pastor slash YouTube creator, also. Very good musician, very good singer, by the way. And he has his own channel, YouTube channel. So I'm gonna say it out for him. He has the Sir Walter Jones Show. He loves to say at the end of his song that he's constructed, because some of these people they have, tens of thousands of followers, and just because and I'm not downing your dog, but just because you have a lot doesn't mean that it's of God. Well, with that said, he usually say, "Come on in, the water is fine." Proverbs chapter 7, starting at verse 1, it says, my son. This is what the writer says. He says, my son. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take just a few seconds just to give two of my grandchildren some instructions. Hey, don't make too much noise, okay? All right, and try to keep it. If you're going to go down there and play, go on ahead down there and play. It's all right. All right, back to it. Back to it. Let's get the right angle again. All right. My son, my son. You see, that's what I like about this. And before I continue, this is live. I'm doing a live recording. And I'm not going to use that phraseology, say anything can happen, because no, anything can happen. But whatever does occur, occurs. And so if something happens, I mean, hey, it's no big deal. Pause and go through it. You don't have to, act like, oh, be quiet, be quiet. I'm doing the recording and all this stuff and put all this special time in. What do you think happens when you're in this standard? Well, for the sake of that, for these modern day churches, the stuff happens. No, not the other stuff. Situation, occurrences happen. All right. Anyways, back to it. My son, it says here, keep my words. This is the father imploring his son. He says, lay up my commandments with thee. That means put some stock in the words that I speak. Most fathers, and I have 3 sons, then I also have 2 sons. I'm married to my 2 older daughters. Jessica, she's my oldest daughter. Brittany is the second oldest daughter. Their husbands, I call them son. I don't call them less than that. Yes, they are not my blood sons in terms of, I made them, but they married my daughter, so I include them as my sons. But then I also have 2 beautiful extra daughters. My 2 younger sons, Christian and Tyler. They're married, and their wives, Maddie and Carla, they're my daughters, so I call them daughters as well. I don't leave them hanging. Of course, my baby daughter, Arnisha. Okay, she's the baby. She's the baby girl. RJ, he's the oldest son. RJ, Jessica, Brittany, Christian, Tyler, Arlisha. 6 children, and I have 7 beautiful, precious grandchildren. Whew, the Lord be praised. All right, that's enough of that. Verse 2 says this: keep my commandments and live. Okay, so wait a minute. So my son, keep my words, verse 1, and lay up my commandments with thee. It says, keep my commandments and live. Do what I'm telling you. Do what I'm instructing for you to do to matriculate throughout life. It says, do this and live. Here's something that's very good. Listen to this instruction. Obey the traffic signs. Obey those traffic laws and live. Wow. Keep my commandments and live, and my law, keep this as the forefront of your mind, the apple of thine eye. Number 3, it says, bind them upon thy fingers. I know, the mentality is that we usually try to picture exactly what's being said, which would be to tie the Father's commandments upon your fingers. But that's also could be used as to say, in your doing, let your doing be reflective of your Father's commandments. It's pretty good. Okay, then it says, write them, etch them in stone upon the table of your heart. Not this thing here. No. This here, your mind, your intellect, your will. Verse 4 says this: say unto wisdom. Matter of fact, say that wisdom, thou art my sister. And here's something else: call understanding thy kinswoman. Interesting. But let's keep going. Verse 5, it says, that they may keep thee wisdom and understanding. You see, some people will say it's a sister and a kinswoman. No, wisdom and understanding. It's and the Father's commandments, that they, the Father's commandments, with wisdom and understanding, may keep you from the, wait a minute, the strange woman, profane woman, or the adulterous woman. And it says here, from the stranger, foreigner, which flattereth with her words. She smooths and she soothes with her words. Verse 6 says this: For at the window of my house I looked through my casement. So this father is looking out of his window and he noticed something. He notices, it says in verse 7, and beheld among the simple ones an innocent person in other regards. I discerned among the youths a young man, and look at what he lacks: void of understanding. A little bit more water there. Void of understanding. Passing through, let me say this right quick. Well, if I was at a Baptist church, all I could do is just look over to my right or to my left and tell the nurse, give me some water there. Give me some water there, baby. My throat get a little bit dry. Thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You got to be careful who you call baby and sweetheart, because they take it the wrong way. Either the nurse would take it the wrong way or the wife would take it the wrong way. Sidebar. See, I'm gonna keep it short. Keep it short, simple. KISS. Keep it short and keep it short, simple. All right. But this young man, he lacked, yet he was void of understanding. Verse 8 says this: passing through the street near her corner. Wait a minute. This woman, this strange woman who flatters with her smooth, soothing words, is at the corner. This is probably like those who know, as they say, I will be dating myself. I don't mind. You heard me say I have 6 children and 6 grandchildren. My oldest granddaughter, Jersey, she's 16. She's going to be 17 in October, on my birthday, October 24th. That was beautiful. My first grandchild born on my birthday. See, sidebars. Too many sidebars right now. Let's get through. Let's get through. Anyways, this woman is not where she ought to be. Like the Save Center, they use this phraseology. They say, I'm not where I ought to be, but thank God I'm not where I used to be. Stupid. That's the spirit of dumb. Verse 8, passing through the streets. This young man is passing through the street near her corner. Mae West would say this phraseology. Like I said, I'm dating myself. Come up and see me sometime. If you knew Mae West, you know what that means. That means I'll make a play with this song now. I'm not dogging the song, but saying that that's what the song means. But I'm just gonna. The song says, "Come on in the room, come up and see me sometime. Come on in the room, yeah." Okay, all right. Passing through the street, the young man goes near her corner. And the young man went the way to her house. Look at this situation now. Look at the time. In the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark of night. Verse 10 says, and behold, there met him a woman with the attire, I'm sorry, excuse me for that one, with the attire of an harlot. Like the way most of these women dress in these modern day churches. They got cleavage to beaver. Oh, hey, look at that! Just caught my attention. So we know that was a TV show. Leave it to beaver. So I was messing with the one word, not the last one. Just leave it to beaver. And I said cleavage. Okay. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot, dressed like a hoe. Just matter of fact, she was what the Commodore says, she was a brick house. She wear pants that was skin tight. Oh, that's okay. I know some people, they can't take reality, because they're so busy living in a pseudo world or a pseudo cultural world that has them to where they're so far, so alienated from the truth that, you say something like that, they're like, oh, look at you and all this other garbage. Forget that. But this woman was dressed. It's so provocative. I'll use that phrase. Yeah. The attire. She had the attire of a harlot. So that means she wasn't your standard harlot. She just was dressed like that. And then it says this, and she was subtle, hidden, concealed of heart, meaning her motives were concealed. And were hidden. Verse 11 tells a lot. You find this, oh boy, all over the place. In some areas, they call these people chicken heads. Well, that's a little bit older. The newest phraseology, of course, is ratchet. Even though ratchet is a portionable tool, that's what you do. You ratchet on something in that regard. But of course, this world's mentality is that you can take whatever is there, make it slang, or use it for something else, which is to profane it by the way. And therefore it means that. That's what they do. She's loud in verse 7. She's of great commotion, tumultuous, and she's stubborn. She's refractory. She's rebellious. We're going to find out who she's rebelling from, as a matter of fact, in a moment. She's back. She's a backslider. She's backsliding. She's doing what she should not be doing. It says here, her feet abide not in her house. Oh, right there. See, look at that. Hold up right there. Her feet are not abiding in her house like she ought to be. How you know? Because she was out on the corner. Now it says here, verse 12, now is she without. Now, and see, she's not in the house. Now is she without. Now in the street. And she, oh boy, she looks so good, but she's nothing but a mousetrap. What do you mean, mousetrap? It says here, and lieth in wait at every corner. See, that's what's going on. She's out there looking, hunting. It's just like that song by Hall & Oates. Whoa, whoa, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll chew you up. Whoa, whoa, here she comes. She's a man eater. And lieth in wait at every corner. And then it says here, look at that. This is how you know she's a man eater. Watch this. Verse 13. So she sees this young man. Remember, he was void of understanding. And then she lays it on him. She kisses him. She kissed him. And then it says here, with a hardened, impudent face, her countenance, how she looked. This is what she said to him. In other words, she put a look on her face. And she says, oh, now I can sing the song again. Come on in the room. I have peace offerings with me. This day have I paid my vows. So she's off of that time. The womanly thing. She paid her vows. Verse 15 says this. Therefore came I forth. She says, I came here to meet you. Diligently to seek your face. And I have found thee. Yeah, I got you now. Remember, she sees them. She kissed him. And this is her talking to him. And now she says in verse 16, I have decked my bed with coverings of tapestry. I got some real good covers on my bed. My bed is carved with carved works. I got a real nice bed, sleigh bed. And I know it's spelled Sleigh, but catch this. With fine linen of Egypt. So she has some Egyptian cotton sheets, 800 thread count or more. However, I don't know if you get more. Maybe you can. I don't. Maybe you get 1,200. She got some good soft sheets. Those are some good sheets. I've had some before. Oh boy, they are very nice. But they're good mainly for, in my never humble opinion and in my experience, for winter because they help keep you warm as well. Verse 17 says this. I have this, what she said. Now the woman is still talking. That's why I have it in this color here. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh. I put the smell good on. Aloes. Got some lotions and some skin brighteners or shiners, and some cinnamon. And she says, "Come, come, let us take our fill of love until the morning. Let us solace ourselves with love." Woo, listen here now. For the good man, her husband, is gone. Woo, for the good man is not at home. He is gone a long journey. He hath taken the bag of money with him and will come home at the day appointed. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. See, there's a phrase that says that when the cat is away, the mice will play. Well, this young lady, strange as she is, she was happy that the cat was gone because she went out there. Now listen to the father. The father is speaking again. He says, with her fair speech. Oh, people say men have game. This woman has game. And you know how they use that term. She caused him to yield. She got him, stopped him in his tracks, so to speak. Then it says here, with the flattering of her lips, with the flattering of her lips, she forced him. Now, I didn't look up that word forced the first time. So let's look that up right now. Proverbs, let's see, where is it? Proverbs chapter 7. Should be no, it's not in there. So let's go ahead and do it the hard way. Proverbs chapter 7. Where is that? She's perfumed her bed. Okay, taking a bag of money. There it is in verse 21. Let's get this one synchronized with the other one. In verse 21, it says, with fair speech, she causes him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she forced him. What is forced in that regard? Let's look this one up right quick. It says to push off, used in a great variety of applications, literally and figuratively, to expel, she mislead, or she strikes or inflict. Okay, but this one is talking more of to compel. She compels him or draw him away, drive. That's what she does. Oh boy. So now let's read that into it. With her, watch this, with her fair speech, she caused him to yield. With the flattering of her lips, she compelled. Now I have a little sidebar, like I did speak of, even though I had a couple of little side ones already. Romans chapter 16, verse 17, talking about this fair speech thing, says, now I beseech you, brethren, mark them which cause divisions and offenses contrary to the doctrine which you have learned. And it says, and avoid them. Why should you avoid them? For they that are such, they don't serve our Lord Jesus Christ, but with their own belly, with their own lustful desires, that which is in them of their own self. But that's what they serve, but their own belly. And it says, and by good words, and here it comes, and fair speeches. What do? They deceive the hearts of the simple. That's the same thing that the father was saying about the young man. He was a simple one. And she got him with her smooth way of talking, her fair words, her flattering lips, and her whole clothes. Back to Proverbs chapter 7, verse 22 says, he goeth after her straightway. She got him. They say that hook, line, and sinker. Wow, she got him. This is how she got him so good. As an ox goes to the slaughter, they walk right into the slaughter room. Have no clue. And it says, and that's how bad it is. Or just like a fool who goes to the correction of the stocks. They go put them in stocks, locks and stocks. Lock his own self in. Fool, that's a fool. Verse 23 says, till a dart strike through his liver, just like that. When a dart goes into that ox, it pierces his liver and he dies, or it dies. Just like a bird that hasteth to the snare. The bird sees the bait that's inside, the snare. And when the bird alights onto it, the trapper pulls, or maybe it even activates it, and it pulls and it captures the bird right by his legs. Bird is caught. And it says here, here's the sad part, and knoweth not that it is for his life. This is the young man. He doesn't know that this is for his life. All right, I'm moving. I got to press on. Verse 24, it says, the father is talking. He says, hearken unto me now, therefore, O ye children, and attend to the words of my mouth. Let not your heart, thine heart, decline to her ways, her customs, her modes, and her manners and stuff. It says, go not astray in her paths. No, don't do that. For this is what she does. For she hath cast down many wounded. Yea. Oh boy, this is going to come back up at the tail end of the second document. Many strong men have been, told you she's slain by her. Her house is the way to hell, going down to the chambers of death. Now that's Proverbs chapter 7, verses 1 through 27. Now let's go to the flip side. Here we go. Let's just minimize that page. Now I have a question here. It says, where are you? Not you. This you, who's in this 10th verse, who I'm getting ready to read. Proverbs chapter 31, verse 10. They call this, in some of these modern day churches, they talk about some, the women, we're P31 women. Right. The first question is up there. That's not just my question, but the first question in scripture of this specificity says, who can find a virtuous one? It doesn't say that there's some out there, but it just says, who can find her? Is she that well hidden? Well, in today's society, without a doubt. But virtuous in this word means trained or enabled. Who can find an able woman, a trained woman? No. Look at the difference now. We went from the strange woman to now an able, a virtuous woman. For her price is far above rubies. I know some men, they're afraid to say that their wives is not even worth cubic zirconium. Or zirconium, however you pronounce it. She'll beat him down with her look. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her. Wow. So that he hath no need of spoil. This is what she does for him. It's the other way around here. America's culture, or culture today, not just in America, but around the world, the man will bow his knee to a woman, asking her to marry. And they just think it's so awesome, it's so nice, it's so prim, so proper, and the girl just loves it. Man bowing down to her. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. Verse 12 says this, she would do him, the husband, good and not evil all the days of her life. Nowadays, a woman to leave you. And you know what? This is what I find interesting. In the actual vows that these people take on, these vows that they swear an oath to in other regards, they say for better, for worse, for sickness and in health, for richer, for poor. Then they say something, till death do we part. I don't see divorce in there anywhere. Did you? No, but divorce is the leading thing of the breakup of marriage. I know they'll say, but there are certain circumstances justify. There is no circumstance for divorce. The only thing that eliminates or that nullifies a marriage or stops a marriage, the law of a marriage, read this in Romans chapter 7, is death. That's the only thing. Sidebar over, back to it, verse 13. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ship. She bringeth her food from afar. She rises also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. So this lady was well off. She got maidens. Verse 16 says this: she considereth a field and buyeth it. She goes out and does this. With the fruit of her hands, she planteth a vineyard. She, oh my goodness, she is all in these verses. She girdeth her loins with strength and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good, not her body merchandise, but what she goes out and get. Her candle goeth not out by night. That's a pause right there. You know, today's they say this. They say, I want to be spoiled. I want to sit back and do nothing, and then my husband do everything. And you know, all I want to do is get my hair done and have my manicure and my pedicure. And don't you mess up her bikini shape with children. Whew, God forbid that should be in their mindset. Of course, that was my sarcasm. Verse 18, she perceiveth that her merchandise is good, and she doesn't let her candle go out by night. She keeps light going. She layeth her hands to the spindle. She gets on that sewing machine, and her hands hold the distaff. That's a certain portion, like the spindle. I mean, not with a spindle, but it's something working with that. And she makes the thread of some kind of way. I looked that up another time before, and that's why I sort of have some memory of that. Verse 20 says this: she stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Yea, or yes, she reaches forth her hands to the needy. This is an awesome woman. That's why it says, who can find a virtuous woman? She is not afraid of the snow. I'm from Buffalo, New York. Now, you know, some women think, you know, they're above reproach. They will not get a shovel and go outside. Some will. Some will. I'm not saying all. Some will get out there and do and help or whatever. You know, so don't think I'm talking about you. If you shovel, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about those who think they're too good to shovel. Now, she's not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry, I'm sorry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Back to her husband now. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. Back to the woman now. She maketh fine linen and selleth it and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Verse 26. That's the same point. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. In time to come. Then it says here, when she opens her mouth, wisdom comes out. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is what you say now, is the law of kindness. Verse 27, we're almost done with this. Verse 27, it says here, she looketh well to the ways of her household. That's her main concern, her household. And it says, continuing in verse 27, and eateth not the bread of, she is not idle. She doesn't eat the bread of idleness. So she's not just wandering about, like that strange woman, idle all around. Verse 28 says, her children arise up and call her blessed. Lord have mercy. Her husband too. Not just because he's afraid. It says, and he praiseth her. He praises the virtuous one, not any woman. I know they all say, servant. My price is far above rubies. Yeah, your price is far above rubies if you was a virtuous woman, but you're not a virtuous woman, so you're nothing but a cubic zirconia. And then on top of that, do you think that's worth the price of rubies? Well, if you are the price of rubies, then you ought to be acting like. The best thing about a ruby is that it doesn't have to go out and do all this extra stuff. It is. Are you like that woman? Verse 29, three more verses, 29 counting as one. Many daughters have done virtuously. Oh, but this virtuous woman excelleth them all. She does better than them all. Favor, watch out now. Favor is deceitful. Yes, it is. Favor is deceitful. So your looks is only going to go but so far, you know. And the next next portion of the verse covers it. And beauty is vain. It says, but a woman that fears the Lord, she shall be praised. Here we come now. Give her the fruit of her hands, it says here, and let her own works, let her own works praise her. What she done, let that praise her in the gates. Now, there's a that's the end of that. You just wanted to see the difference. There's a strange woman and there's a virtuous woman. Here we go. Here's my statement. There is contrast between the virtuous and the strange woman. The strange woman leaves her home and slays strong men, but the virtuous woman does her husband good and not evil. So I'm going to leave the thought before I say the last word there. I'm going to leave with a thought. Just like there was a movie, but the movie came from the song, but the concept of it, it says it's a thin line between love and hate. That's not the same here. There is no thin line between the strange woman and the virtuous woman. No, because the virtuous woman, according to the verse that we just read, she excelleth them all. For the sake of women, not trans women, just women, biological women, born women, not assigned women, born women. If you want to use the word assigned, then it could be assigned by the sperm that your father used was there to inseminate your mom, your mother. That assignment, God's design. How about that? I did pretty good. I'm almost done. It's almost 40 minutes, and I was able to go through both. And I said from the beginning, 45 minutes, up to 45 minutes or 45 minutes or less. And you have my word. All right, here we go. The last word is indeed amen.